two things. Yeah, paperclip.
And basically, wouldn't far off.
So will we adopt at this meeting the community event application? Do we have to have any discussion about that one?
It doesn't need to be adopted by the group.
So we're going to use it from now on, today, forward. I'm going to speak at public forum for just a moment. I had something I couldn't get on the agenda. How's it going in?
Where's West, I see the address, but where's West Michigan Interior Products?
Sam?
Huh?
He's asking where West Michigan Interior Products are at.
Exterior.
Exterior.
Okay. Or my nephew, Austin, up on North.
Austin? Where, there?
He's up there where I used to look as a kid at 19.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's where he's at.
Okay. Good. I didn't know, I never heard of it. So now,
Did you see Jerry's coming? Jerry's not coming.
yeah, no, he's not, she hadn't heard of your head, was it? That's what she said.
I didn't print out the bunch with those, so
Perfect.
it's the same ones that Rockwood has. I already just powder coated red if you want to pass that around.
How much are these, did you say?
$400 a piece.
$400 a
And
piece.
that's two of them. That's two.
Those steel
They're they're steel. But they're the exact same ones that Rockwood has. I just have mine powder coated red. They come out of a company out of Holland. They hand them to you. They take a couple minutes to put together, but just drill them into the concrete.
Sally said she's gonna be a couple minutes, cause she just had a customer walk in and she doesn't have anybody to watch her shop, so she's gonna run a couple minutes late. Call the meeting to order, and then she gets here,
We got enough, we do, don't we? How many do I have?
Hey, in order. Ready for the pledge of allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, this is the wrong one. So maybe I'm looking at city council. Well, okay, here's the record. Roll call, Mayor Hall, not here. Bernie,
Yep.
Sam Gibbard,
Yeah.
Sean Kippert, Kevin Marcus, Rose Powell,
Here.
Dave Ringler,
Present.
Sally Holland,
Here.
Craig Hopkins is present. Do we have any public comments?
Oh, I do. I'll turn on my phone. I didn't have time to get this on the agenda, but I think it's very important. I went to the Kent County Trail Patrol Volunteers meeting the other night, and the Kent County Sheriff's Department Community Services unit is looking for people to become part of its volunteer patrol program. These volunteers control many of the trailways in Kent County, providing assistance to trail users and reporting problems that need to be addressed. Volunteers will wear the Sheriff Department issued vest that identifies them as trail volunteers.
Are you going to put one of those on?
Yeah. but I can only do it when I'm on duty. Volunteers are trained in how to report suspicious or dangerous activities. They also report trail maintenance issues that might need immediate attention. Volunteers may choose to walk, ride a bike, or use inline skates to patrol. They set their own schedule, which is cool. A minimum of 2 hours commitment each week is requested. Volunteers must be 18 or older, have a friendly demeanor, and have transportation to and from the trail system. A mandatory meeting for the trail volunteers is scheduled, blah, 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 it was at the jail. For more information regarding the program, call Sandy Jones. Anyways, what I did while I was there, I talked to the Sandy Jones, and I says, who do we have to talk to get that meeting up here on the north end of this trail, because they rarely send anybody this way, beyond 14 miles. So anyway, I talked to Sergeant Kelly, and Sergeant Kelly said he's on vacation, but when he's going to look into it when he gets back to set up one of these classes somewhere here in town. So that's our progress on that. So spread the word, and we'll get it advertised as soon as we get a place to have it. There were about maybe 60 people at this meeting I went to, and none of them were from Cedar Springs. So I said, I think we got some people up here that will be glad to do it. So anyway, that's my story. Keep an eye out for it.
Thank you for that presentation.
If you get info on that, and you can email it over, I'll post it on our site too, and to get people to volunteer.
We want all the organizations to know women's.
Well, just when, when the meeting is, and where it is, we'll post it on our site to publicize it. But it might not be a bad idea to email all those organizations.
Yeah. Well, when he
Hawks
gets back.
would be another good one.
Yeah, everybody. Even if we have to have 2 meetings. It's just weird. So thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right,
I mean, most we approved the agenda.
all right,
Second?
we have a second, all right, before we actually vote on it, Linda asked that we put on the agenda, I'm presuming on a new business, bringing attention to attendance. Like Kevin Marcus, his absenteeism, and Sean Kippert's missed a few. All right.
I'm busy as can be at my place, and then.
So am I.
It's a commitment, you're either gonna be here or you're not.
What are the rules regarding attendance?
It specifically says if you miss 3 consecutive ones without a valid reason, and I guess it would be up to you to determine what the valid reason is. Today, Tony is citing his house and is doing something with his house in January. He has not been at a meeting since over a year. So this is his 4th meeting.
But he has communicated with you that he wouldn't be here?
Most of the time, yes. I think there was one time that he didn't.
No,
Citing his house.
That's who?
Kevin. I haven't checked Sean. I was more concerned with Kevin at the
I'll
moment.
fire him. I like him, I'll fire him, I don't care. God, man,
There's that pleasant disposition, or what was the requirement?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
trip?
When they said that, I looked at him.
No, Kevin, you gonna come or you not? He'll tell me. He will, I'll ask him, and I'll report, and I'll call Perry.
Right.
You wanna be in, you wanna be out. Simple.
But if you want to have someone removed for non-attendance, the correct procedure is to notify the mayor and have the council reappoint someone in his place.
I'll find out what he wants. Okay, I understand that, but I'll ask him, I'll find out.
Right.
Well, I think it is valid. I mean, I work 100 hours a week now.
Yeah.
Well, you meet 4 times a year, so.
Unless there's a special meeting, so sometimes it's 5 nights a year, but still.
You wanna talk to Sean, you want me to talk to him too?
We'll talk to both of them if you want to.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I-
He's gonna start taking it personal if I keep doing it from every board.
No,
I
you
don't
could
even
have
have a
your
valid
good
email for Sean anymore. Because everything I send comes back as undeliverable.
Yeah, I called him this morning and left a message, but I haven't heard anything back.
I'll ask
I
him.
nominate Bernie to do that.
Second to nominate me, I'll just do it.
Okay.
Off the record, but I'll do it.
All
I
right,
see Kevin every time.
all in favor for passing the agenda? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign? All right, consent agenda. Motion to approve minutes from the January 25th meeting.
Second.
No, I have some corrections, sorry.
But that goes under discussion part, right?
So to approve the minutes and, yeah, okay. So you want to make the motion?
Yep, well, somebody make the motion, somebody the second, and then do discussion.
I move that we approve the minutes.
I second with Rose's comments.
All right, so what's the discussion, we need to change that?
Just a couple things, on or 6, unfinished business, Wheeler purchased 2 benches for his business at a cost of $400. That was actually bike racks. And under B, Hopkins received a quote from the Victory Sign Company for a sign for approximately $750, and that was $3,750.
Just missed the 3,
Yeah,
the big 3.
a big,
That was A sign.
Yeah, per sign,
that's all I
per
have.
sign,
What was it, 3,000?
750.
I resubmit my motion to approve with the amendments as stated.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? Motion carried.
Good job, Rosie.
Well, thank you. I was one.
I don't care.
All right, unfinished business, downtown bike racks and benches.
I brought, I don't know where it went, but I had a photo of the bike racks that I mentioned the last meeting. Those are the same racks that Rockford uses. Theirs are green. I
So
powdered,
that's $800 right there,
that's $800.
and that coincides with 400 you see.
Well, they're 400 each.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them that I just put end to end.
400 each for bike rack.
Yeah, and they are 400, that's 2 bike
Yep,
racks.
so that guy.
Yep.
You pass those, pile down here and I'll do it.
So if you all want to look at that, you'll have an idea what they look like.
I mean,
Those are from a, there's a company out of Holland that does those. And they-
And did you attach them to this one?
Yes.
Okay, so
They
that-
provide all the hardware and everything. We just drilled into the concrete and bore them in there. So they need to be assembled too, but it's easy.
Yeah, the pricing on them is not, you're really not gonna find much cheaper, other than cheaper material. Because the ones I was looking at, they're anywhere between $350 and up, but that's got more spaces to them.
powder coated, was that included?
That's powder coated, yep. Colored powder coated,
So 400.
$400.
You get the
If you want to
cheaper
pass
color.
that around, everybody can see it. Sally came in late, so she may or may not see it.
That's $800. 6 space?
There are 10, I think there are 10 actually, but that's 2 racks there,
Yeah,
end to end.
With 6 spaces each.
But so people can put bikes on either side. So you can put 10, 12 bikes in each one.
I like the red color for sure.
I did too.
Those are 400 apiece?
Plus, you have to have time and materials to attach them to.
Well, materials are provided, everything's provided, all you gotta do is, you gotta drill the holes, you need a concrete drill, a masonry drill.
Hammer drill.
Labor, we'd have to pay for labor.
I would imagine DPW might be willing to top those
So
up.
if we get rocket science. I think I could do it. But, Alder.
Yeah, 'cause most of these ones in this book, they're on sale for $478 and up.
Right,
And that's-
to me, those are ugly, but.
Done deal, I voted. I gotta back up. Who's buying these? Again? Whoever wants them?
Yep, basically on the bike racks, whoever wants
Okay,
them.
so we're putting out a flyer to the business people, if they
Yeah.
want a bike rack.
That way we can kind of have them unified
Okay.
versus everybody going and
Make a
getting them.
motion to do that. Just standardize what's on the
Yeah.
street. That's a good deal.
And then when they pull them off in the winter, somebody,
We didn't leave ours out.
But ours are gonna be in the, people in Main Street, it's gonna be where you got snowplow.
Yeah.
well, yours on the side street, right?
Yeah. Well, I have to put something there because idiots keep driving across my landscaping.
That's before or after they get there?
That's on the way in.
Yeah, okay, sure. Oh, I thought maybe under the influence.
No.
Is that good?
Well, that's because they need a drink.
Everybody's chicken train, they cut their asses off. Oh, can I say that out?
That crap here does that to me all the time.
When you can get in there.
Yeah.
That's a good.
We'll make room for you.
Complain about your place. I don't get in there.
That's my complaint.
Nobody goes there, it's too crowded. It'll be better.
That's a bad problem to have.
So we have a general consensus, that's the concept we wanna do.
Yes.
They do have smaller ones, of
Like a
course,
Ford.
which would be a couple bucks less, you know, but
What do you think, Sally?
I think it's great. My only thought is that every business is not gonna wanna put one in front of theirs, so maybe business owners need to get together by the block. And if you're at one end, maybe us at the opposite end might want one bike rack, or across the street, you know, however, because otherwise, if everybody puts out a bike rack,
They're not
It's a
gonna,
big expense,
they're
yeah.
not gonna, because they're not gonna spend money.
good point.
But there's no reason why you can't share your thoughts with the guy next door.
that's what I'm saying, is that, and I would think
That's the area, there's four of us, let's go $100 to put it right here.
And see, for where my building is, because his building sticks out further, that's an impossible place to park. So I would absolutely like to see bike racks along that wall.
You know, location up and down the street, some businesses don't have the room. And ideally, you take one lot, 4 businesses, they can have, consolidate and buy a rack.
You know, even if you do the, how long's these?
It's 2 racks.
Yeah, but I mean, how long? Is one is 4 foot?
Probably about 400.
No, a little longer than that, they're probably like 6 to 8 feet long. Like I said, they do have smaller ones that would be less, to have, you know, maybe 4 spaces or something, but.
So like on the side, like my side, where currently, depending on what happens to Froggy's, what goes in there, my business would be the only one on that corner of the block that would use it, and
I would say
that's
you
gonna
got
stick way out.
Yeah, you can't put it.
So doing a half one and 3/4 is wide, as long as they're in on that concept.
Your bike rack should go over to, Rounders Park. So that bike rack should be for you.
Which part?
By the library?
No, across the street by the bridge, back there. Well, that's too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I screwed up, that's a block out of the way. My fault, I was thinking of
somebody.
It's Sean.
Let me talk.
Hey, we're waiting for you. At the meeting. DDA. You don't,
Don't forget it. It's okay. They
Okay.
be about 10 feet long if you measure.
well, we've got the Brownfield meeting after we get done talking about DDA stuff here, so.
So it could be,
Yep. Okay, see you in about 20 minutes. then.
well, that's it.
Right back.
That's it. Too big.
He thought it was next month.
No.
Where you at? The meeting. Okay.
Okay, so these are available, maybe just post the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can forward the,
Yeah.
contact. Those are available for sure, like you said. They do have smaller ones, but that'll be less, but they're
Yeah.
finished powder coated, they give you all the hardware. All you gotta do is slap them together and pour them in, so
That's,
that's what they look like.
Like place in Rockford, or is that
No,
just the one
that's,
you
they're out of
brought?
Holland, they're a municipal supplier, they do playground equipment and, you know, gazebos and.
Anytime. Even, you know, possibly the smaller one, or half size.
Right,
in front of the
which would be
business
less,
may be practical for some businesses that don't,
wouldn't take as much space on the sidewalk.
don't have the room or basically the need to have 10 spots. So there's definitely something to look at, but this is good looking.
Do they have to be shipped, or you gotta go pick them up?
They dropped them off to me.
They charge extra for shipping, I
Nope.
presume? Oh, that's for shipping?
$400, it showed up at my door, just like that, except it wasn't put together. And they did, all the hardware was provided, there's a couple bolts here, here, and they give you the hardware to drill them in.
Well, I know when I was checking with that bike place in Rockford, they give the quote if you got like 6 or more, it was still like 400 and something, plus tax, and you had to go pick them up. So,
It looked even better yesterday, because it was full of bikes.
Funny day.
Kevin's got one down there.
yeah, he got a new one down there.
Nice.
I like that.
Like Sally might have room kind of.
Right.
Oh, she.
But a lot of it, other businesses really don't.
That's what I was thinking, maybe at one point, like down.
Like by the Kent Theater, they could fit a full one.
Yeah, or like right over here on the right near the lot, next to the nails place there or something, that might be a nice spot that people come, they could go to the bar, or, you know, they could go to the bank, or, I mean, it's more central located on the river too.
Yeah.
They even
That's
use
gonna be your only problem, I think, you're gonna get too much, and then it's almost gonna be where they need to take them off in the winter, otherwise it's gonna make a snow all nightmare, other than like this, it's around the corner out of the
Right.
way.
It's on his property. That's your private property there, isn't it, Dave?
Mine's on my own private property, yeah. Icon Shelters is the name of the company.
Alright, so if we're all in consensus on that, do we need to vote on it, or just presumably just go with it?
We just need to put it up to the businesses.
It would be the standard.
I make a motion we approve this as the standard.
I think we should approve it as a standard, I mean, I like that stuff. Thanks for doing the research on it, David, I mean, you come up with a nice.
You might wanna, get for whatever what's the name of it again, David?
Icon.
The company is called Icon, and the actual bike rack is called from Waypoint Amenities. Icon is the dealer, and that's who, as a 10-space bike rack for 400, I can actually see if they have some of the other ones in here. That's a shame. But Icon Shelters is the name of the company out of Holland. And here's their phone number if anybody wants it.
Okay.
800-748-0985. And our friend is Brad Valtrazak. B-A-L-T.
Yeah, exactly.
B-A-L-T-R-U-C-Z-A-K. And I can send him an email too, but if you're interested in, and I can
Yeah,
get
'cause he
prices
might-
for smaller ones.
Yeah, because if he gets enough orders, he might even consider a lesser price if he has enough.
Well, like I said, that's where the 10 space are, the smaller ones will be less anyway, so it'll be a max of, but if they all the same uniform design, they'll look nice up and on the street.
Alright, Bernie made the motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Alright, all in favor of adopting that concept for a bicycle racks on Main Street?
Standard.
Standard.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? Motion carries.
And the question on that motion is how is that enforced to, like if people have a bike rack already, if Kevin put one up?
Grandfather.
Well, if it's up previously, it's been about it.
I don't see a lot of them.
His is the only one that's out there that I know of.
Wasn't there a little woodland in front of yours?
There was, but I think it's in storage right now, I don't know if it's going to the park. Cause, originally got 2 bike racks and 2 benches, and 1 bike rack and 1 bench went to the park.
That's it.
Actually, did we get 1 bike rack or 2? Or 1 bench or 2? I know Len wouldn't let me have it in my building after I put it out there, he had me have it removed.
So who's gonna spread the word about this?
I will get it posted on our DDA page, and then,
Because I don't have any neighbors I'm responsible for.
yeah, and then we'll get something printed up and
I got lots of room. I don't have much bike traffic there, of course, but,
now is everybody kosher with me be getting something printed up and presenting it to Linda, and if it looks city certified or city approved that I go around and solicit some people, see if they wanna have them in front of their shop.
That's the concept.
That's a good idea. You're gonna take that responsibility.
Yep, if I ain't got time, I'll push it on roads.
Come on,
I'm gonna be guarding the trail.
Alright, on the benches, I've got a couple different options on this. This one page, you got a bike rack on the, or a bench on front and back, one's a 4 foot, basically, and the other one's a 6 foot. This is the closest one I could find that was like what we've got by the staging area and by the fire barn. And it's a lot cheaper than the one that's in this catalog that, by far. And if I remember right, when Sonia was talking about the current benches we have, when the DDA bought them before, they were $600 plus a piece, so this is probably where they came from, because these are $698.85 for the 6 foot, which is what we have. Then there's a 4 foot steel slate bench, it's $282.35. You know,
Are these also red or they're black or?
I think you can get different colors.
Yeah, they just want powder coated black on it. Still,
Blue, green, black on.
While we're on the subject of benches, I didn't know what our plan was to do with our rental benches, so we can get them out, or...
Well, we discussed possibly moving them 3 benches somewhere to Main Street, and then swapping the 2 out by the trailhead with the red flannel town.
So are we gonna proceed with that? We don't have enough, we gotta decide now, or do we have to present it to council?
Did
Do we get
you guys talk to Michelle about seeing if it was kosher or not?
she doesn't have a problem with putting them benches back out on the staging area at all. I thought that's the direction we were headed.
So,
I didn't know of any other.
do we need a vote to have city council, request DDA or DPW to do that?
Just tell them.
Right.
So there's 2 of those, right?
Those are going to staging.
Those
Yeah.
go back to the original spots in the staging, and the 2 black ones come to whomever the merchants want them in part of the business. I was under that understanding.
And I have a report about that too.
Cool.
Since we have maybe a total of 4 of those black benches,
Where's the 4th one?
there's one behind City Hall,
Okay.
and there's like 3 benches back there, and I would think 1 would do. So, and there's one at the fire department, which we could swap out one of those extras. So that would give us 4 benches. My thoughts was to have a bench, maybe every block, but it have to be with the consent of the business owner. And they have to fill out the seating permit. But the first question I got when I asked was, well, is it going to be attached? And I said, I don't know if we're going to have them attached or not. So I guess that's where we have to discuss.
They're
And,
attached or they're gone.
so I haven't gotten to all the businesses yet. I just wanted to know if we plan to attach them, which is of course time and materials, and maybe 4 benches on the city, on the sidewalk.
So we would be supplementing the existing benches with these, or we would just be using the existing, or would?
I think we would start with the existing benches.
Start with the existing ones, and then we can, which is like this one here, that 6 footer. Does that look like what you've been looking at?
Pretty much. There's one in behind the city hall from the next door. It's the black benches that were bought for our city to be used anyways. There's one in front of the library, which is a backless. There's one over in the gardens by the theater. There's several in the Veterans Garden.
There's a couple up there.
So-
Them are backless up there.
They kind of match. They match. That's what we bought them for, but I need to know if we're going to attach them or not, so I can tell folks, because they said, one person says, you know, we had chairs here, and we had bums all over smoking and carrying on, and she says, I don't think I want one. So I said, just, you can say no.
That's when you give them the option versus demanding it.
So, one person said, well, they'd be attached, and I said, well, we haven't decided that, but somebody might steal them, I don't know, what can we do? besides
Where they
that?
presently are they attached?
Yes.
Then they should be attached.
In past, they were attached and we unattached them. And you would set them in front of one business that wanted them and they would end up 2 or 3 doors down. Where the local would pick them up and they would put them all together so they could all sit on the backs, with the feet on where you sit, and sit on the back. And then there was a lot of complaints of the litter problems.
Well, we got that now.
I think you probably need to anchor them. And there are pads in several locations up and down Main Street that they could be reattached to those anchor spots that
Are you setting back against the building, or are they setting on the street facing the building?
that's the decision we need to decide. These were all right up by the curb, right next to the banner poles.
Okay.
Oh, in that line, so
And that was,
whether we set them next to business or that's into there. We need to figure that where the person that wants them, I guess, maybe they could say we want them here or we want them there.
well, if you have them the back towards the building, then you know that they're just gonna be facing upward. If you have it out by the thing, you need to be, well, you want their feet out over, hanging over the sidewalk, or if you want their feet hanging over the street.
Oh yes, we had them anchored facing one way and we had to turn them all around and face them the other way. So, yeah, they've been both directions.
And from my understanding, that's the reason we ended up with some backup ones, is to
Yes, that was,
accommodate for the
that was.
ones that,
And we did have some vanish too when we unbolted them. Even some of them that were bolted, they vanished. There used to be a matching trash can, and believe it or not, some of them vanished. They look nice.
Wasn't there a problem too with car doors opening because they were close to
Yep.
that?
and that's,
That
I
was-
think going up by the building would be a good option.
The one next to the curb, there was always, there wasn't enough room.
So your picture here shows up against the wall of the building.
Yep.
So is that the option I should present to people?
I would say next to
Four
the building.
benches.
Next to the building, yeah.
If you want a bench, we have maybe one per block, and they have to be attached or not
Anchors.
anchored.
I'd say attached.
And I will say they have to fill out the thing, but if they get to the point where they don't want it there, just call us up. We'll get it.
And is the business paying for it, or they're just, they can request one and get one?
Of the first 4, we should probably put it on our page and say if you'd like one, let us know. And that way we don't just stick it like, I'll take one.
We have
But we
4.
don't want 10 people come later after we put these 4 and ask, how come we didn't get one? We
4
didn't know
while
about it.
supplies last.
And there's a matter of room, if you've got, Perry, you've got your display table and your sandwich board and your bike rack. Is there gonna be room for a bench there?
Yeah, there will be.
Okay.
Because there's plenty of room between the doors on my side. You still have my 6-foot table, have space, and
Yeah, I mean, we take one too, the cigarette issue aside, which drives me crazy. People, every day, I gotta take pictures of people smoking in front of the no smoking signs, but, I guess the question I have, if there's 4 and we just get those, and then we start saying that the new people have to buy them, that
All
Fair.
kind of-
that opens up a can of worms too.
As far as you're smoking, I'll send my wife down there. She traps the kids walking down the street in front of our house and jumps out without smoking and throwing cigarette butts.
Please, send her down there with a stick, she's welcome to beat people.
Oh, she.
Hose. So that's what I'm gonna present to the folks, right?
I would, and like Jerry said, while supplies last.
They'll be attached, we'll try to get one a block
The rest of it next time.
per person who wants them. And we're gonna get the red flannel benches out, and that, we put them out into the staging area. Do we need to vote on that?
No.
Okay.
No,
Well,
Give me the form, we'll take one.
when we, put it out there, them 4, we gotta make sure that they know that unless they're gonna buy it from the DDA, that is city property.
Right.
those 4.
Them 4. So if they want one to call their own, then they have to order that.
That sounds good.
You gonna say that they have to be taken off in the winter, or how are we doing that?
Well, for
Yeah,
sure.
they have to be taken off November 1st, the same way as your outdoor seating and all that.
We gotta have that all go down.
know, if the city's
It's
putting
in
them
the
down, then they need.
Well, they have to follow the ordinance.
That's in the order.
That's in the ordinance that it,
So who pays for picking them up, unscrewing the thing? What budget does that go under?
well, that, yeah,
Promotion?
that's probably gonna come out of DDA, if it's DDA that's putting them on.
That'd be it.
Don't we have like $12?
But the municipal,
You're right.
We might have blown that making this happen.
You know,
You know, if I get one, well, we can also put it in there, if they want one of the city ones, that they donate $100 for the removal and putting back out.
for the free ones, yeah, that's a, you know, just the cost,
Because,
or just the cost to have it put in.
well, if you're getting a, basically getting a free bench to use, it doesn't hurt to chip in a seventh of the price of buying one.
installation.
Yeah.
All right.
You just need to get all that stuff.
I have
in
one
order.
question only because I don't have a place on the city sidewalk that I can even put a bench. It has to go on my property. So does that mean I don't have access to one? And, same thing, do I have to have a permit to have one on my property? Did you have to get a permit to get one on your property?
Well, his was designed as,
Well, I'm just asking.
We don't have a bench out anyway, Sally, do you want a city bench?
Well, I'm asking because it's the same thing as the city bench. Most of the time when I put a bench out, it's for sale.
Yeah, sure.
It comes and it goes. I don't have permanent bench, but if I had a permanent bike rack and a permanent bench, it would be there all the time. I'm asking only because I can't put it on the city side.
It's just stuff we gotta figure out. We got one per block.
Why
per
couldn't
block.
there'd be no problem.
Well, because the driveway to where I am, I can't put anything out there. They run it over it. They run over my big frame all the time. Some of them do, they drive over.
Because I'm seeing crazy people smoking cigarettes.
Exactly,
Her
exactly.
business would be the only one on Main Street that would be a private,
Yeah.
but
Unless the cafeteria had one put alongside the edge of the
having
building.
said that, if you put it up next to the building, there's a small portion of each bench will be on private.
Right.
Because there's a narrow strip in front of each of the businesses. So, you know, whether it's all or nothing, you know, I don't know, for liability wise or whatever, would she be required to do the same permitting process? Good point.
Well, we have 4 benches, I think, you know, we can work out somewhere. So we can have 1 bench per block. That's all we got to work with. Now, the Legion has seating down there, so we don't have to worry about that end of town.
And they're, you know, they have.
We just sit around the flagpole out there.
Out front, along
The bus stop.
They don't, no bus stop place. But we're getting, you know, let's get the 4 out, see where things go.
Yep.
We might not even have,
We may not have the request for 4 more. See where the requests come.
So, $100 to get one to cover the,
Cost of installation, because you're gonna have to pay DPW to put it out and pick it back up.
What do you think of that one, Beth?
I'll send a little note to DPW.
recover. Should be okay.
Is that per year?
And date's a date. What's the date when it's got to be removed?
I think it's October 31st, I think.
$100 bench would be gone, but.
Well, for me, having it stored, me having a bench stored somewhere and put out, and I don't have to deal with it, $100 a year is well worth it. I don't have to dink with drilling the,
You don't allow them all throughout winter.
No. Plus, if you think about it, they put it up 1 year and then you opt, you don't want it,
and go somewhere else.
it goes to the next business.
Yeah, you don't have to try and sell it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's not.
And if you make so much money this year, you decide to quit, then somebody else can do it.
Go buy your own.
Just say it.
So I'll do my best, but I don't know how to report to anybody about my progress other than on email, so I have to do that. See. If we got any fist fights over these
Just
things.
make a decision and do it, and we'll back you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, I'll take one at my end.
We got you back.
Sounds like you got a request for 3 right now.
There's 2 gone.
I have to
Next,
figure it out.
Pick me. I want one.
There's one
I
that,
would like a permanent one.
I can see if the theater wants one, or else Gebhardt Insurance or whatever, so there's one down that way.
That's the last one we have then.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 spoken for and few, yeah.
And then other than that, I'll post the link to these to give them on the DDA page if people want.
Then we have 1 page left.
Hey, what?
1 page left.
One bunch.
I'll take it. That'd be done. Next.
Hey,
You
I
were
guess
worried
that answered
about
all right.
them coming to us.
On the wayframe business map signage.
but before we forget, before we get past A, he just asked what size we might be interested in for the smaller ones. If we would be interested in a smaller bike rack size.
You got a 3 or 4 foot option?
Yes,
Cool.
whatever size. We went 3 foot, we went for a 4 foot.
I'm thinking to stay on that red brick, you want a 3 foot.
Well, minimum. 3 foot will have how many bikes? That would be my question.
3 foot will probably be,
Like for 4 bikes.
because there's 5 sections in there, so probably 2 of those sections.
Could be at least 4.
Yeah. Most businesses are not gonna need,
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with babies. Hopefully they would, but they don't.
but then they have that option, they can do the small or the bigger.
Okay, sorry, move along.
Mhm.
B.
Well,
All right, Sam asked, your brother-in-law or brother? His nephew. Somebody in his family, he asked it.
Well, all I did this was, the last time there was $3,750. He said, man, we gotta get a pizza. And they got putting the pencil to it, and he said, you know, anything decent, they're not too far off. It's basically all trying to show you. They did it a couple different ways, and they tried to wrap it with stuff that wouldn't have to be painted. One of the sand lake looks really nice, but it needs to be stained. And he put it together, and he said, you know, by the time we plant them in the ground and everything, that guy's not too far off on price. And then that's all this is trying to show you. It's not really soliciting business, and we're just trying
Right.
to show you that those other people were probably in the ballpark for a manufactured, installed sign. And hence, the next part of the discussion, where Gary found a book that had some signs in it, and I tried to get requested those books back the 15th of March on a website, never came. And then I called like the 10th or 12th of April, which is sure, we'll send them all to you. And then we got this big envelope, didn't have anything in it, no return address, we didn't have any idea what it was, it didn't even dawn on me. So then I finally called her Thursday, Friday, I said, what happened to my magazine? She says, I thought, I mailed them to you. I said, we didn't have a return address on it? No. Well, bingo, that's the empty envelope we got. So I requested them, and I'd rather go to the post office at 3 o'clock, we'd all have one of these little books to look at. But they're pretty cool, he made some copies out of it, they got some signs in there that are pretty reasonably priced. And they're made out of like recycled plastic.
So like the Kirby built one here, is that what you're?
Yeah.
They got a couple different options, but I was running low on ink because that sure ate up the black ink fast.
yeah, they will.
But here's some other options.
They got some pretty
Pass
cool
that way
options.
if you want.
There you go, for the-
But you basically can get 2 of these ones for that price, and most of it's because it's recycled
The
material.
catalogs, were speaking of, we always got in his hand. I was trying to get ahead of the game. Perfect storm.
Then they just gave me this one. Oh, this got barbecue grills on it. We can get Tom barbecue grills. But yeah, this has got other stuff in it too. I just haven't had a chance to look at it. But like a couple of them, they have options where you can put a flyer thing below it. But it's kind of the idea. I was thinking if we're having Regis make the map part of it, we have them leave a small spot where we can put sponsors in the bottom and see if we can get sponsors to pay for the sign.
Now, will those sponsors be
Annual.
yearly? Yeah. I talked to Austin, my nephew, he said, that's something he'd consider, and I know I would do it.
We do it.
They had quite a few people on the old ones that put
We do it, everybody, most
$30
everybody did it.
for it down to, and that's a bargain to get your name out there.
Put it there on the Waypine Trail all year long.
I'm catching a lot of people coming up from Rockford and whatnot, that, you know, a lot of people that I've done business with over the years, you know, are down that direction, and horses and all that kind of stuff, they come right up that trail. It's a good spot to catch them. I mean, I see them because I'm right there. Especially on the weekends, I think it's Audubon, you know.
Busy.
Golden Trail.
It is.
So if we decide which sign concept we want, then
Well,
Yeah,
when
we
folks come, I'll be more than glad to take them around and give them to everybody, you know.
When's our next meeting, I
When I
guess?
get those books, I'm
is it
going.
3 months from now?
July.
July?
You need to get a cedar, you need to get a cedar frame.
Yeah, I see that. Once you call a special meeting.
Yeah, we can call a special meeting if them catalogs come in and they,
I'll get the catalog.
Yeah,
Would we have power if we put lighting in them?
I think they're solar. They put like an
That's
LED.
solar.
LED solar.
Oh, cool.
There's
But do you need
But
one
see,
on
that's
both
awesome,
sides,
then,
Terry,
I would
think?
say.
well, we was thinking both sides, that way you had plenty of room for the map to be readable and still have a legend.
What if you just turn it?
I mean,
Oh, I see.
This one doubles 1,200, 315. Plus,
You put one in, let's say,
Yeah, you're looking at
Cherry Street,
$1,800
rocks
for-
where the old one was. Both sides.
for this nice one with a literature rack and two-sided, you can sell ads down there, put the map there, it's lighted, I mean, that's,
And then we can get
They
the
got
generate
one side
funds.
chamber too.
that's a two-sided one. The one side's 970, but this is the two-sided, it's 1,200, $300 for the, lighting and another $250 for the, literature rack that you can put ads in. So you can put 3 ads in there, which would probably pay for the darn thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're cheap enough too, if something, you know, they get vandalized, I mean, it's like $1,000, not $3,000-4,000.
Right.
And being made out of that material, they're, just like the one saying, like, if you ever get up there, it really looks cool.
That
One
is-
kid that works with Austin, well, that Dave Baxter, he did that one. It looks cool, but it's all in the point where someone needs to go up there with some stain and touch it up. That's the problem with that stuff.
And well, that's part of where if we charge an annual fee, ones that get on it at first, if they are on next year, being that we're not gonna have to replace unless it gets bleached by something, the sun, it'd be cheaper the second year.
Yeah.
And then it'll cover maintaining of the sign, and
Well, I wouldn't mind getting the books all there, but if you guys wanna have a little special meeting, I would be all for that. I mean, it's something that it wouldn't hurt to keep rolling on it, you know?
then there's this other option, I looked at just Googling for trail signs, it's this other sheet. The backside doesn't come up very well in the black and white. But they have options for, they just print it right on an aluminum signing. And, it says metal painted aluminum, they give you the different sizes. 24 by 36 is like 105.
But you have to mount it onto something.
Yeah, then you gotta mount it onto something, and I got a feeling it's gonna wear faster. Is
Some of these might be nice, really to put spots along, additional spots along.
I just got that one for an example of a different style, but with using the glass case, you can replace the stuff that makes it so we can update the map every 6 months or whatever. Because when we originally was talking about it with Thad, he'd been in contact with Regis and the city, right, they have enough man hours or whatever it comes with their annual fee that it should cover most of it, if not all.
We'd wanna know what size you want the map to be.
Well, you're gonna want probably, going based on, I was measuring my sign that I have in my tea shop I put my calendar on, basically.
Yeah.
So people can see it without having to stop and split. You're gonna want that 42 by,
Viewing area, 20 by, this is 20 and a half by 28 and a half.
that'll work in the spot where they're gonna get off their bike or their motorcycle, or their snowmobile and look at it. But the 42 inch, where is that on there?
So when you decide where it's gonna be,
41 by 42 inch is the more optimal view for people to.
And then you have to come up with a space for your merchants. How many?
Oh, the big one. Yeah, was like this one, that's a 28, 20 and a half by 28 and a half. And then you get the optional piece along the bottom with the advertising.
Yeah, and that's why I printed off a couple different options, so
How many spots do you want?
And that's different than the people who sponsor the sign? Or is it all the same thing?
All the same, I would think. How many businesses slots are we gonna have on there?
Well, depending, if you make it so something's down here, you probably put 3 on the side. Or you could put it up in this, because this thing down here is optional, so that costs you a little bit more.
That's an extra, on that one, it's an extra $230, $240.
So we list sponsors separate than the business key that goes with the map?
Right, well, whoever sponsors it gets a bigger thing on there, basically.
That's what we.
That way it stands out from, it makes it community friendly by every business gets to be on there. Because, well,
Hopefully more soon.
Well, we need to figure out how many businesses are gonna be on there for size.
where's the last one?
How many were on that? About the same.
Last one, I think there was like 32 or something like that.
That does come up, 32 does come up with number 30, I thought.
30, 32, somewhere in there.
So do we have someplace we're gonna put it, is there, we're getting 2 or?
The idea is to get 2. One I got, Kurt maybe gave me Scott with,
White Pine?
for the, contacting the White Pine Trail because it's state property.
Right,
Well-
we have to get them there.
If we get one at Cedar Springs Ave,
Yeah,
and I guess the one at 17?
17, yeah. That was my intention, is that way, because some people never come past that parking space by his place coming north, and some people never come south of the ice cream shop when they're coming down that
A
trail.
lot of people do.
As far as the trail, the last I knew, and this was several years ago, was that the city maintained and controlled that stretch of the trail from 17 up to Cedar Ave. And if I remember rightly, Linda, we could put signage there, but it had to be under our control, the city's control, of what was there. When they put that other wayfaring sign in, there was that, the manager was just okay to approve that.
So it was all right that it had been there.
Well, Ted, when he checked on it, they said they didn't know anything about it, because they've never went there, and you're supposed to get permission.
Well, depending on who you talk to from the
Right.
state.
So, to put a summary on this then, we gotta pick out one of these that we like, and then this is paid for by who, and then
Yeah, and
we
basically,
reimburse that over time with sponsorship,
correct.
right?
That's a probability.
So my guess is trying to get the sponsorships before I put the sign out, because we've got 400 and what?
Well, I wouldn't think you're paid, if the sign costs $2,000 and you're getting $300 or $200 per sponsor, it's gonna be an overtime thing to ultimately pay for it, but every year you're gonna have sponsors there, so it would take you a couple of years to recoup the cost of the sign.
Who's gonna hold the bag until we recoup it?
That's the point, that's the question. So based on our $12 budget, I'm guessing this is a council issue.
12?
1,500 we have?
Oh, we do have 1,500?
Well,
In the next budget year.
it's the budget, but part of it is money.
We can,
550 of it goes to the postage, right?
we still can't get a sign. So it's still a council issue.
But if we get somebody to donate to the DDA for a sign, then we can put one up and propose the other one.
It still sounds like it's a council issue though, regardless, even if we're recommending, because we don't have the money to do it. We can go out there and solicit sponsors to bring it back over time, but you're gonna need council support to do this,
Well, I'd keep
right?
it $500 for 5 years,
What about,
or whatever.
Well, you can do that too, you can do longer term ads and.
Yeah.
what if you the DDA sends a request to the council?
Do we have money anywhere to, I know we're struggling over getting the crosswalks painted, so.
We'll take it out of the assessor's budget.
There you go.
We still have an assessor?
Yes.
Check.
Yes.
He hasn't answered my email, that's all.
He's on vacation for 2 weeks.
What's the
Good gig.
vacation?
Good gig.
That's what I always see, dude.
He's busy.
He just does a good job.
You guys all see them ones here to see what style they want? To kind of proceed with and see what we can beg, borrow, and steal the money for?
Well, that's the thing, deciding which, there's the bigger one and there's a littler one, and you have to add it up if you want the lighting and the lower area. Like I said, this one ends up about $1,800 in the little one.
970.
And the other one I didn't do.
I have an idea. I think that we should have a committee of two to make that decision for this board. And I think let's have Perry and Rose do it, because they seem to be the ones who are actively wanting to
I'm
do it.
doing the benches, he's doing the sign.
Okay, I'll even do it. I don't care, but I'll make a decision easy.
Okay.
And we'll sponsor.
Anybody want to do that, committee of two, and do it?
I can too, but if somebody else wants to, that's great.
Alright,
We trust you, Judge.
we'll discuss it over thing with you.
I don't drink that shit.
She just makes it. That's all I see.
Refrain.
I'm gonna have some wheat protein.
Sean, just so you know, you just volunteered to buy 2 bicycle racks, 3 benches, and 2 signs.
Perfect.
And it's going.
Oh, I don't think you guys want me to do that.
Alright. We're on that.
So we're moving to form a committee to make a recommendation, correct?
Correct. I'll take a nomination for that.
So do we need to actually do that? I move that we form a committee.
Second.
Yes. Committee of 2 or 3? You already got a committee of 7. 2's enough.
Who's enough? Alright. And then,
Who's on the committee?
Perry and I will do it, we're neighbors,
There you go.
For the wayfaring sign.
for the wayfaring.
then wait for anything.
Done.
We'll make then we will make a recommendation to the full board, yep, all right?
Sounds wonderful.
And if we get enough details and have a special meeting, then we can get it presented to council and see if we can get any.
So can we do a full motion for that, or are we just gonna do that?
I think we can just do it.
The consensus, everyone
Okay.
agreed.
Good job.
Alright. Anything else for everyone, crosswalk discussion?
Are we gonna have a crosswalk discussion?
It's on here.
Agenda.
Okay.
If we don't have anything more to discuss besides that we talked about it, was it a budget or was it a council meeting?
We talked about the crosswalk